Thank you, Stefan. So we are very pleased to be here and to be an actor of this wonderful meeting. So thank you, OW2. And we'll try together to solve one of the most common problem in software engineering in great big enterprises. It's how to create application which better use the domain design of the enterprise. So the idea is to capitalize around what we create commonly in the enterprises. This is a domain, and how to reuse 2 years ago, and not only to create POCs and a small application. So this goes through quality code, and this goes also through stacks. And we also want to give an answer to another question: how to run an application to every modern platform, and how to ensure from the beginning that our application is compatible with every modern platform. So we have the solution. It is SeedStack. So SeedStack is an open source project since 2015. It's MLP 2.0 license, and was created in an enterprise and PSA group to avoid common problems in development, like complex monolithic application, like how to standard the business code in our application and how to reuse it, how to better use the code, and have a good governance of the components in our enterprise application. So it helped enterprises to build a software development strategy for all the business areas. And it is a result of the experience in usage of frameworks in a lot of domains, like banking, manufacturing, retail, infrastructure, digital, and also. So it is used in all the common areas of PSA group. And SeedStack, it's a full enterprise development solution, which is based first on a Java framework, or a small Java framework, which has a very modular architecture with plugins and kernels. On the top of this Java framework, we built a domain-driven design framework, which helps us to better design and code the domain, business domain concepts. Then we have an user interface frameworks, which is W20, which accelerates development on the user interfaces. It is based on Angular framework. And then we have an ecosystem of add-ons, which give answers, the simplest answers for the developers, technical answer or functional answer. And this is an extensible ecosystem. That means everyone who wants to add its own contribution can add its own plugin on the SeedStack infrastructure. But SeedStack, it's not only, let's say, our code. It's an integration of standards from the market, and these are standards from the open source market, of course. And we just assemble open source standards and proprietary technologies. And you have a list of our answers chosen from the market, like from the OW2 platform Noon project. We have also answers like Elasticsearch, AngularJS, Require.js for the interface, user interfaces. We have a lot of answers on the communication part as MQTT, as Metro, as Jersey, and also. So I think the best
yes.
answer is to take give some code, to code something, and show to the people how we can develop together an application. So please, Adrian.
Hello everyone. I will show you a quick demo of what SeedStack can do if everything is working properly. Today I have some problems with the VPN, so I may not be able to show you the running application, but we will start to generate it and we will see. Okay, so let's go on the website. You can see that we have a website for SeedStack that has everything you want to know for the documentation and things like guides, the development guides, and so on. So we will go to the quick start and generate a microservice project from scratch. Okay, so let's generate something. It's hard to type and talk with this mic in the hand, so I will do my best. No, that's okay. Thanks. So I will start by creating a REST project with a generator. Okay. You just have to fill some little information about your project name, and you will have a fully functional project in a few seconds. So I have prepared a demo finished project for later. But for now, we can just start the project with a run command from our tooling. And you will have a microservice running, REST-based microservice with a full technology stack integrated automatically. So you can see here that it started. Let's go to the page. So it's a basic microservice. So you have a REST API. It's hypermedia enabled, so you can write some level 3 REST API, and it's based on Java standards like JAX-RS and things like that. So you have a whole technological stack available for you, and you can start adding things like business code, persistence, and so on easily by adding add-ons and using the framework functionalities. Okay, so let's walk through the tutorial a bit. So I won't do it completely because it's quite long. But here you can see that we can write some business code like what you can see here. It's a very simple domain model of some business, and it uses the business framework of SeedStack to implement this kind of code in a modular and evolutive and maintainable fashion. Okay, so you can I can show you all the steps, but I have some finished project already. I can show you. So maybe you will see something in presentation mode. Okay, so you have your typical Java project here, with which is a Maven project, and you can see that we have already a package structure with some packages following the domain-driven design layers, and you can see that we have here our domain aggregates with classes and things like that, put directly with the business framework of SeedStack. So I can switch to the view, the logical view of the application. You can see here that we have some domain aggregates and services and so on, which are written with SeedStack, and SeedStack takes care of all the technical integration. You have a dependency injection, you have a persistence. Here we have a MongoDB persistence enabled, but you can have GPA or Redis or anything like that, anything you want. So I can show you the library of add-ons we have to give you a quick idea of what we can do. So you can see here that we have a lot of add-ons. We have several dozens of add-ons. And for things like cache or database access, benchmarking, messaging, and so on. And you can easily add your own add-on. Creating an add-on is a matter of 1 day or a bit more if it's complicated, but you can do that really quick. And we have a lot of open source add-ons, but also proprietary add-ons at PSA for internal things that we keep at PSA. So maybe I don't think I can show you the result, because if I run the application, I have my Docker which is not working with my VPN, so I don't think I can do that. I will try. But you can see that we can launch the application, but I think it will not connect to the MongoDB cluster. No, it's telling that no MongoDB cluster is available, and I will not go through the diagnostic and the fixing process, but you can get the idea of having an application really clean and really well architectured easily with SeedStack. Okay, so I will go back to the presentation. No, that's it.
Since our last visit to OW2, our strategy has focused on two main axes. The first one is the microservices. So we want to create with SeedStack domain-driven design microservices in order to have a better application and modular application. So we introduced this solution, these add-ons, in our last releases. So the 17.4 in April, and we also introduced another component add-ons in the next one, the July release. So please go on. And this part of SeedStack, this axis, has an answer which is given by the domain-driven design approach. It's an object approach as a standard of microservices. And so we introduced a set of add-ons to code this kind of microservices, while as using the framework Swagger, which is a reference in designing and coding and documenting APIs, as using Hypermedia as an engine of the application, Feign as a HTTP very teeny client, and service discovery and the circuit breaker inherited from Netflix approaches like Hystrix.
Yes. Yes, you can see that we have a lot of add-ons, and we are shifting to microservices applications at PSA and in SeedStack, because we think that it's a better architecture for future applications. So we are focusing a lot on this and providing add-ons to create such architecture. But you can still create old-fashioned applications with our UI framework and create some classic things with SeedStack too.
So this is the first direction of microservices. The second one is to be able to run an application on every platform. So I give here an example. It's our platform built on open source components like Docker, Consul, Prometheus, Traffic, and also. And we want to have an application which is designed from the beginning to be interfaced with monitoring aspects, with change management tools, which with logging, with tools like data backup and also CMDB tools. So we want to introduce from the beginning of the development process all the needed tools to interact in the run process with this tool and to be more DevOps than we are today. So also be able to run on every YAS and every pass. This was one of the constraints we given from the start. And now SeedStack addresses these DevOps issues, and it integrates the measures for the monitoring and also Docker through generators. We have add-ons like console, etcd, metrics for our seed platform, and also introduce some agility add-ons like Flyway to better migrate databases, and some benchmark to add-on to give some issues about performance of our applications. So SeedStack has today all the elements to build an application from the design and to run process. And I hope you'll help us to make OW2 as a mainstream project, and help us also by using SeedStack to be a pillar of OW2 infrastructure consortium.
Okay. Yes, we have a lot of projects at PSA that are using SeedStack, but we have a very small community. So I would like you to check for SeedStack on the website, try the tutorial, or do see the examples for yourself, or just browse the docs to see if it can be used for your project. And if you want, you may you may contribute too, but let's start using it before contributing. Okay, so thank you very much.